Today in Sports Report. Football, Premier League, Almaty Kairat gains speed. Wrestling, the national team of Kazakhstan brings medals from the Championship of Asia. The game number 1, Legends of Native Football. In the framework of the 19th tournament of the Kazakhstan Football Championship, Almaty Kairat accepts the guest from Kizlochda. The players of Vladimir Wise, after winning Serbian Crvena Zvezda in the first qualifying round of Europa League, thought about the next round where they must meet Armenian Alashkert. The head coach of Kairat decided to keep his leaders as Aslam Khan, Riera, Gurman and Plotnikov, and fielded those players who do not often get in the first team. Also, from the first minutes of the game, new players of the team appeared who joined the camp of Kairat in the transfer window. From the first minutes, ex-forward of Zhitisu, Giorgio Dispovic, and a star rookie of Almaty, Anatoly Timoshuk, turned up, whom the captain's armband was entrusted. The meeting was a chance not only for Almaty reservists, but also an opportunity for the team of Dimitri Ogai to take out points from the favorite. The hosts of the field started being more active. They took an initiative and started bombing the gate of Kairat. It didn't give good results for Kizlochda. Conversely, the wards of Wise replied with dangerous attacks. Fast attack to the flank completed with a wonderful cross to the penalty area, but Zhambul Kukeyev, being completely alone, misses the ball. Immediately, Almaty conducts another attack, which was completed by a leader, Isail, but the kick of the Brazilian flies over the crossbar. The hosts, feeling that Kaysar is not ready to play in the number 1, are going forward. Yermek Kuantayev, markedly seen in this season, makes filigree canopy in the penalty area, where the team rookie Giorgio Dispovic, in a high jump, forwards the ball into the goal, 1-0. After a scored goal, Almaty again gives the initiative, but the players of Kaysar held in the center of the field, and it seemed the only one who was not satisfied with the score in the staff of the Wolves was ex-Kairat player Josip Knizevich, but his long shots didn't reach the goal. The second time starts with the second goal of Dispovic. The ball of the kick of Georgiev flew into the goal, but the referee didn't let the new player celebrate the goal, offside. Another Serbian footballer of Kairat deserves special words. Zarko Markovic, who repeatedly hesitated to take the game over, ran out on an opponent's half of the field and then sharpens the game with passes. A sign moment happened in the second time. Baujan Islamkhan substituted Aslan Darabayev and got the captain's armband from the hands of Anatoly Timoshuk. By the way, the footballers of Kaysar treated tough with the players of the national team of Ukraine. Timoshuk at least twice found himself on the lawn after violent hassles. The end of the match was held in numerous attacks of Kairat, but they couldn't increase the advantage. The same Kukeyev had a brilliant chance, but after the midfielder tried to go to a rendezvous with the goalkeeper, he lost the accuracy. Today we have told the guys that we must win and get 3 points. Of course, there were many changes in the starting staff. That is why I'm satisfied with the result. In this match, many footballers were tired and new players were lacking teamwork. The most important thing is that nobody got injured. I'm glad that we have won before the Europa League. The youth national team of Kazakhstan wrestling successfully performed in the Asian Championship, which took place in Myanmar. Our native wrestlers on Greco-Roman style under the management of Bornabek Konyiratov in the starting day won 5 medals. 2 of them are of high dignity. The impressions are good. Competition was held on a high level. I took part in the Asian Championship for the first time. I won a bronze medal. In the first meeting, I won the wrestler from Korea, then the representative from China. For the third place, I had to fight with the wrestler from Japan. There are no weak fighters anywhere. All the teams are strong and came to win. Dastan Zarlikhanov and Hussein Mutsolgov became the winners of the Continental Championship. The silver medal was won by Tamerlan Shadukayev and Rahman Shaharbek. And Sarkis Psechnikov came back to their motherland with bronze medals.
I
have already been a junior champion of Asia, now I'm a youth champion. It is a pleasure to win. In half a year, we are having Adults Championship of Kazakhstan, the selection for the Olympic Games. I will try to train for this tournament to be selected for the licensed tournament. The wrestlers are of freestyle also. As the representatives of women's wrestling, they won second place in the final team standings. Timur and his team. With the light hand of the patriarch of Soviet football, Nikolai Petrovich, Starostin had a nickname in the Almaty club in the mid-60s of the last century. The occasion was the famous match of the USSR Championship between Moscow Spartak and Kairat, held in the Central Stadium named after Lenin in Moscow on the 26th of August 1964. 30,000 spectators became witnesses not only of the sensation but saw real effervescent football in the performance of the Almaty team. Kairat gained a victor with a score 2-0 and the forward Timur Sigizbayev made a double. Having been a footballer, we were good friends with Sigizbayev. Why? Because we played against each other. He is a forward and me too. That is why there was mutual attraction. Kairat played against us with great enthusiasm, especially in the second time, which the guests played so successfully so they could compete with any of the leaders. Balls scored by Sigizbayev are classified as rare ones in performance, said Starostyan on the pages of a popular weekly football hockey magazine. 2 goals into the gates of Spartak is one of the brightest pages not only in the career of Timur Sigizbayev, but also in the history of Kairat and in Kazakhstan football in general. When we talk about Sigizbayev, everyone remembers especially these 2 goals in the match with Spartak. However, there was another double, important not only for Sigizbayev, but also for Kairat too. There was a rumor that once he played somewhere in India and there was a monkey at the gate. He hit and killed it, but all of them are the fantasy of fans. As you know, his kick was so strong. I will never forget who scored 2 goals to Spartak, and it was from a 30-meter distance. So the kick was on the first place for him, and his kick was so powerful. Timur was born in Semipalatinsk in the family of an officer. Later, the family moved to Almaty. The boy was keen on football, getting his first experiences in the battles in the yard. In the championship of pioneer camps held in the stadium of Spartak, he was noted by the coach of football school Avant-Garde with a plant named after Kirov George Koselko, in the team of whom Sigizbayev started playing as a forward at once and scored a lot of goals. He defended the honor of the Republic in 2 sport festivals of schoolboys, in 1957 in Riga and in 1958 in Tbilisi. Exactly in the capital of Georgia, a memorable dramatic match took place with the team of Armenia. After the first time, the national team of Kaz-SSR lost 0-5, and in the second time, Sigizbayev scored 5 goals and the game finished in a draw. 17-year-old scorer was accepted by the Almaty Football Youth School. Later, he entered the Institute of Physical Education and was in Kairat. His first match in the highest echelon of the Soviet football for Kairat, Timur Sigizbayev spent it on May 14th of 1960 in Minsk with the local Belarus. 2 days before Sigizbayev celebrated his 19th birthday. Wow, a young rookie scored 2 goals. Well, Timur Sanjarovich is the legend of our football. We can even say he is the king of Kazakhstani football. He left his name for Kazakhstan. Every child and every footballer wanted to be like Timur Sanjarovich. I respect him very much. I can say that it is also difficult to find such a person. He devoted his life to football. I met him when we worked in Yemen. He came from there and became a coach. Well, to tell you the truth, the coach must be strong. He's a kind-hearted man. In fact, we had to wait for 3 years at other goals of Sigizbayev for Kairat. But how much it was important. On May 26, 1963, in 33-degree heat, Kairat accepted Moscow Torpedo. The team of Viktor Maslov is full of starts. The goalkeeper, Anzor Kavashvili, the captain of the national team, Valery Voronin, Viktor Shushtikov, Michael Pasuelo, Boris Botanov. For a quarter of an hour before the end of the match, Sigizbayev scored the only goal of the match, which became victorious. General Kairat from that period was a toughie for any opponent. The grands of Soviet football were scared to come to Almaty. Get a draw in the away match against Kairat was considered to be an achievement. After finishing the career of a footballer, Timur Sigizbayev continued his career as a coach. He trained Avtomobilist in Kizloorda, Karaganda, Shakhter, Kairat, the national team of Yemen's People's Democratic Republic, and again Kairat. Later, the sports committee and senior positions in the Football Association of Kazakhstan in the early years of the country's sovereignty. He is spoken warmly by his colleagues, past and present generations of players. The president also assessed the merits of Timur Sigizbayev properly, awarding the honored veteran with the sports medal Otan in honor of his 70th anniversary. Bayshakov does not hide that he considers Sigizbayev as his mentor in football. The student has been more than diligent.
Я могу сказать, что я как профессиональный футболист вырос на имени Тимура Сигизбаева. Почему? Потому что
I can surely say that I grew up as a professional footballer on the name of Timur Sigizbayev. You can ask why. Because he was the legend of the Kazakhstani football, a favorite of millions of fans. I don't know in honor of what footballer I was named, but at that time many people named their children Timur in honor of this footballer. I can say that Sigizbayev is a legend for Kazakhstan. He is the mind and honor of Kazakhstani football. The way of Silda to big football got started in the yard. However, genes do not let him down. His father played for Jambul team, and his uncle, Sitjan, was invited to Kairat. Sitjan Bayshakov was a favorite not only for Silda, but also for thousands of Jambul boys. After finishing the sports school, Silda played in the championship of the Oblast for 2 years. Then he was invited to the local team, Almaty. The way of the guy to Kairat lied through the youth team of the Republic, which was ruled by Boris Karitnikov. In one of the matches, a smart boy was noted by the mentor of Kairat, Alexander Sividov, and Bayshakov got an invitation to the flagship of Kazakh football. Silda Bayshakov is a star of our football. If Sigizbayev is number 1, so Bayshakov is number 2. The debut of Bayshakov in Kairat took place on the 8th of April 1971. Kairat, in the starting match of the USSR Championship, accepted Leningrad Zenit and won with the score 3-1. By the way, the above match was judged by the famous Tofik Bahramov, who in the World Championship of 1966 accepted a goal scored for the English, and it became gold for them. Competent, unyielding defender of Jambul, once entrenched in the starting lineup of Kairat, and after some time was talked about seriously by the all-union press. Scoring to the results of the Soviet Championship of 1971, Bayshakov was named as the best debutant of the highest league. Before the invitation to the first national team of the country, Bayshakov played in the youth team of the national team of the USSR, and in 1972 traveled with the team on a tour of clubs to Central and South America. Bayshakov remembered this trip for a long time. In Mexico and Brazil, they had to play in hot weather, and in Ecuador and Bolivia at high altitudes. After this, in 1973, when almost 2 months passed, the players of the team requested to be sent home. They had to cancel their trip to Argentina and Uruguay. However, he was lucky to visit the Maracana on the wires of Garrincha. 200,000 spectators came to the match of the Brazilian team with the team of stars. He saw the game of famous Pelé and Garrincha in real life. First, he is a powerful player. Second, he is tough. He played well on high levels and is tactically competent. It was not easy to enter the national team of the USSR. He is a player of high class. Bayshakov played skillfully. Ikramich is also a skillful player, but he didn't have such speed. But his football thinking sometimes surprised us. It is a gift by God. You can't teach it. To the first championship of Kairat, he was invited to the qualifying World Cup in 1978, in which the national team of USSR had to play against the Hungarians and Greeks. The schedule of the matches was quite unsuccessful. Besides the fact that the national team of USSR had to hold over 3 weeks, in addition, the World Championship had just started and the opponents were in full play.